News was dry, but not anymore. So let's talk about it. PlayStation 5 event coming out tomorrow or later on today, as whenever this video drops. And then on top of that, we had IGN talk about their Summer of Gaming event, and gaming news is everywhere. And here I am now just to cover it. So let's get over it. IGN had their Summer Gaming event. Summer of Gaming. This was their first day of I think of 4 days, so we'll see as we keep going. Like I said, tomorrow there's the PlayStation event, and then there's another IGN Summer of Games. So we're gonna start this off with this is just a wrap up, and I'm not gonna show and go into details with every single game here because there's just a lot and there's too much to go over. So I'm gonna go over them in a rapid like succession and give you guys a quick wrap up in case you did miss it, or if you just want my input and opinions on it, because I will share my opinions and my input. So it opened up with Cyanide Studios revealing Werewolf the Apocalypse Earthblood. You can currently whitelist it on the Epic Games Store, and it looks right up my alley. It starts off with a guy going through some kind of apocalyptic world with madness going on to time stopping, and then boom, wolves. And then where did it go from there? Double bam! Werewolves. Not much is known about this game, as this was the first reveal, and we can expect to know more as hinting at the end of the trailer on July 7th. Then the second game appeared, and it was a little bit more cooler and more badass. Mental Hellsinger, a rhythm-based FPS, and it plays like you don't want to kill every monster because you want the game to fully play out the songs. You also have to keep the beat and kill on beat and use items to stay on beat. It looks innovative, but it's almost like Doom. But I will have my eyes on that. The third game reveal was Alex Kidd in Miracle World DX, taking the name from the Nintendo Switch DX lines of games. This is a obvious remaster, and I don't know if it's a reimagining because I never actually played Alex Kidd the Miracle World, so I'm not really much to say about that other than this is what's coming and it looks good. It has new levels, new modes, an ultimate boss fight, multiple ultimate boss fights, and including a retro mode, so keep your eyes out for that. The fourth game is by Tripwire and Torn Banner Studios, which actually caught my eyes. It's a medieval multiplayer FPS where you can siege castles, there's massive battles, you burn villages down, and you become a legend. It's Chivalry 2. Chivalry 2. I think I'm saying that right. If not, I'm butchering the name, but it's going to be available on all platforms, and even better, it's cross-play on all platforms. That is really good. I hope with the next generation, I hope all their games become cross-platform through everything. Crossplay, because it's going to be the future of gaming, where it doesn't matter what console you have, you can still play with any of your friends. Then the fifth game, it was Discover Romance in an Ancient World of Fast-Paced Strategic Combat. The Waylanders is coming to Steam Early Access on June 16th. After the Waylanders, there was a brief interview about the Second Extinct with the dino-looking DLC of Second Extinction or something like that. The chat didn't like it, and it looked okay in my opinion, but it wasn't something that I personally took interest in, so I kind of like zoned out as they were talking. Roughly after that, we had some exclusive footage of Grand Theft Horse, which was interesting at the least. I don't really know what to think about this game because on one hand, it's like the idea is genius, and on the other, the gameplay looks shallow and boring. But I can't stake my final decision on it yet, as this was pre-alpha gameplay, and like I said, it has a hand-in-hand thing going on. Maybe I'll try it, maybe it's like one of those games you gotta try and then you can make an opinion on it. After that, we had an in-depth look at the Mental Hellsinger, which we just talked about previously, with the dev, and he mentioned something about souls you have to collect, or you can use these souls, but he didn't want to go further into details because he felt like he was going to get in trouble, and then he gave up more story details, which marketing is going to get him in trouble for, because I don't think they're going to like that. Then they had an interview with Scott for more information about Yakuza Like a Dragon, and they try to bait him for some Persona information, but the guy wouldn't take the bait. As for Yakuza, I actually like skipped ahead or zoned out, or I didn't want spoilers, as I am a big fan of the Yakuza series, and the game looks okay. Although the chat said it looks disappointing, but I mean, I still was watching it, looking at it, and then I had to stop because I didn't want to be spoiled, and it looked good. Then came more game trailers and a rapid fire rhythm. We had Beyond Blue it's a wildlife exploration game featuring the Arctic Deep Blue Sea, and there's not much to say about that other than, if you're an ocean loving fan or you love the sea creatures, this is a game for you. Wastelanders 3, not Wastelanders, sorry, Wastelands 3 had a trailer shown off. This game is gonna be on Game Pass day one for the Xbox users or PC users. And it was supposed to be out already, but they delayed it, and now I guess it's coming out in August. Pathfinder Kingmaker Definitive Edition is now coming to consoles, and it's the first time being on consoles. This one will come out in August as well, and it looks to have all the DLCs as the previous Pathfinder Kingmaker game has, except now this is the definitive edition of it. Another game was shown, and it's called Demon Turf, and it actually looks pretty fire. It's a 2D but 3D video game platformer, and it's you get to like turn into creatures and you hopping around, and it's just really, really cool to see something like that and let the devs use their imagination, and I'm a fan of the art style. Then was shown off Dual Universe, which I didn't really care for. It looked like EVE Online except low budget. That's just to say, like, to hit it with some rocks. And if you don't know that saying, it's meaning to be critical about it, as it's to be right on the nose. Then there was an inside scoop about Demon Turf, and then we had a gameplay demo of Observer System Redux. Then we had an interview with Borderlands dev discussing Bounty of Blood Borderlands 3 DLC. We had an in-depth look at the alpha of Waylanders. We had exclusive gameplay of Riftbreaker, which Riftbreaker is a third bird-eye person shoot-'em-up game with robots, and that's pretty much it. It's just an action shoot-'em-up based game. And then I talked about Waylanders, and Waylanders is an RPG game. It looks pretty standard to typical RPG games. I talked about it briefly, saying it's coming to early access on June 16th. Sorry about that. And after that, we had a GTFO survival horror first-person shooter game that teaches you about friendships as you conquer the horrific monsters and beings into the game. It's coming soon. Then we had Mortal Shell make its debut with first gameplay being showed, and it looked very Dark Soulless. It looks like it's going to be a game where you're going to be frustrated to play, but you're going to love it when you get the hang of it. That's how I felt with Bloodborne, and I stand by my opinion with Bloodborne that it was an amazing game, just very frustrating. And then at the end, weirdly, it wasn't like really like games as in games for the next generation of consoles, but we had Arcade 1UP announce Marvel vs. Capcom, X-Men, and many more arcade cabinets are coming, including even a Miss Pac-Man edition. Also, a Big Buck Hunter is getting its own cabinet as well, and then on top of that, they one-upped their game, pun intended, to introduce their new pinball replica machines as well, starting with Marvel. I don't know if it's Marvel vs. Capcom or Marvel Spider-Man, but yeah, that's it. And that is the IGN Summer of Gaming Day 1 wrap-up. Make sure you like, subscribe, and stay up to date on all things gaming, news, tech, and reviews related. I'm Husky Puppy over here at NGI. Have yourself a damn good one. God bless and peace.